All right, everybody. Thank you for coming in to watch the Abrasive Proof. What are we called? The Abrasive Truth. The Abrasive Proof. Actually,
There
I like
you
that.
go. Yeah, the Abrasive Proof. Yeah.
I'm Julio.
I'm Paul. Yes. If we were doing more investigative work, the Abrasive Proof might be a good title.
Excellent. And to my buddy Paul's point, guys, if you're coming here looking for in-depth analysis and deep educational stuff, move on. We're just two guys with opinions, with thoughts. There's things going on in the world that, just kind of, what is it, the water cooler talk, water cooler type of talk.
That's
what we're doing here. So, yeah, we're glad that you're here. We appreciate you guys. If you like what we're doing, please like and subscribe. Please put comments down. We'd like to hear from you. And yeah, we got a few topics that we're going to talk about today. Where do you want to begin?
Why don't we begin? Why don't we go down the list and start with Humboldt?
Humboldt. All right. Where's my notes? Gotta remember not to turn away, right? You can't hear me.
Yes.
Humboldt. Okay, I'm gonna do something here. Hold on. See if this works. I want to see. Oh, you're not there.
Not where?
Can you, if I share this, if I do this, can you see my screen? Hold on.
Yeah, I think so.
Can you see?
Wow, you're pretty fancy with this technology.
Can you see that there?
Time running out in Canada for the man who caused Humboldt Bronco bus crash. Yes. So yeah, Jaskarat Singh Sidhu is the driver responsible for the Humboldt Broncos bus crash. He's facing deportation from Canada after his refugee bid was rejected.
Right.
He was, just to do a summary cap, he previously been sentenced to 8 years in prison for dangerous driving, which resulted in the deaths of 16 people and 13 injuries. It was a terrible, terrible crash.
Right. So now he has served his sentence. He was sentenced to 8 years. Yeah. It was he was given full parole in 2023, and the immigration people have said, yeah, now you pretty much have got to go. They have determined that he's not in danger of any danger in India. He's from India.
Yeah.
Danger, no harm will come to him if he goes back. So he's got to go. Now, yeah. He did, a month or so before this fateful accident, he was married. He got married. They got 2 kids.
Yeah.
Canadians. Everyone's a Canadian. But so if he goes, it most likely will be just him going. His wife and his 2 kids will stay. At least this is how
was she a Canadian citizen?
No,
previously.
She is now, I believe.
She's now. So yeah, I don't think that's right. I think they should deport the whole family. Revoke her citizenship, right?
Why? Why is the wife subject to the husband's folly?
Why is she? Because they're married.
Yeah, but legally, I mean, that's kind of an emotional response. Legally, she doesn't have to. And I think legally, the what do they call them? The Canadian.
Well, he'll never have citizenship. And so, why did he marry and have kids with her Is he trying a backdoor to citizenship? Right.
No. Well, I don't think so. At least that's not what's indicated. But they got married before the accident. They were here
Okay.
in Canada legally,
Mhm.
and they got married. He had this accident. Here's my take on the whole thing. The accident was not premeditated. It was unintentional. It was unfortunate, right? I think, obviously he wasn't an experienced enough truck driver. He didn't know the Saskatchewan roads well enough. He didn't realize that there was a stop sign coming up, and he was careless, and he's admitted to being careless. He served his sentence,
Yeah. Okay.
right? It was 8 years. He served his sentence. So my take is, even though even though yes, you're remorseful and all that, I think you should go. I think he should be deported. Right? There's still accountability for non-Canadian citizens living in this country. It's not a right that you're a Canadian citizen. It's not a right, it's a privilege. So you've committed a criminal act, unfortunate one. Yeah, go. That's your accountability. Now, it's up to you as a family. If your wife and your kids, if you guys all want to go with him, then go. You're right, you're a family. Go where your husband is, go where your wife is. If you guys decide that it's best for the wife and kids to stay, that's on you. That's on your family decision. But the wife and kids don't have to go. And they shouldn't be subject to something that the husband did necessarily. I think as a married unit, of course you should stay together, but you don't have to. That's my take. I think the only one who has to go is Mr. Sangarit.
I think you're pretty.
Jaskirat Singh Sidhu.
Yes, I think you're pretty generous. I think we should be a little harder on the immigrants when they come to Canada. I think they need to make sure that they follow the laws here in this country and try to be good citizens. You're right. He got his truck driver's license, and now there's a big to do over how many of these people were able to obtain their truck driver's license uh, without really knowing how to drive a truck.
Yeah.
So, so yeah, I think we should be a little tougher on our immigrants.
Wow. That's tough, man. I think yes, if he had intentionally, like you intentionally kill people, all you got to go. But this was a mistake, a tragic mistake. I
No,
think there's going to be a little bit of compassion. It's a little
no,
bit.
it was ignorance. He obtained his driver's license on an angle, I'm going to say. He obtained that on an angle. He didn't go through, he didn't study, because his English was probably shaky. Yeah, he came, he wanted to work and support his family. Great, except he went about a crooked way to get his license, resulting in this accident. He paid 8 years. And if he had been a Canadian and paid his 8 years in, in prison, then fine, done. But because he's an immigrant, sorry, man, the bar has to be set higher for the immigrants, not lower. And that's what's happening. They're getting special sentencing now because the courts are trying to allow them to keep their immigrant status, not be sent back, deported. That's not right, man. We can't lower our standards. We have to raise them.
Yeah, wait, no, what I'm saying he should be deported, but you want the
No,
wife
I'm
and kids
saying
deported as well.
his whole
Wow,
family should be going. Done. You're a family, you all pay the penalty. You're done. Bye.
that's tough.
Yeah, man. I'm very tough. Come on, man.
Yeah,
You're gonna come to this country, then you gotta be an upright citizen. They knew what they were doing. His
and
kids are, and on top of that, his kids are sick, right?
one of them is sick. Yeah, one of them has some sort of
one who has complex medical needs. Yeah.
Right. Which is fine. I mean, kids have that, and I think India has good medical situation in there, so it's not like they can't handle that.
Good medical care.
Care, there you
go. Good medical care in India. Yeah, I don't know the situation there. He's, as you said, he's not running for his life away from where he came, and so yeah, you're a family now. You all go back, earn a living from where you're coming from.
All right, guys, you heard it here. We're saying just the hubby, just Mr. Just Garat, he should go. Family can stay if they want. I mean, I think families should stay together, but you can't you can't force mom and kids to go as well. Paul is saying no, everybody got to go. Let us know what you guys think in the comments. Maybe you guys think that they should stay. There'd be compassionate grounds. He's served his sentence, and he's not a danger to society. Maybe he should stay on compassionate grounds. Let us know what you think. Appreciate it. Please like and subscribe. All right, what are we doing next?
All right. Poilievre's travels.
Yes, Mr. Poilievre
yeah.
has been doing a ton of speeches. We all know that the polls have not been very kind to Mr. Poilievre. They're showing a widening even in the party polling has widened, I think, now to 5 points. And as for preferred prime minister, it's not even close. Mark Carney is way preferred to Poilievre. So we are seeing a bit of a turn. Poilievre is going out there, showing that he is a statesman. Did you watch any of the speeches or listen to any of the speeches?
I did listen to, a little bit of a couple of his speeches. He's really more prime ministerial than Carney is. His speeches are a lot better,
Yeah, I listened. He did the one at the Economic Club, and then he was at the Margaret Thatcher speech in London, and then of course in Germany a few days later he spoke there. Yeah, I thought he spoke really well. He looked really statesman-like. I think it's a good thing that he is doing this, showing that he can go out and speak to, say, foreign audiences out there on the world stage. He's showing that he can be a world type leader, which is good. Because a lot of people, one of the reasons why Carney got elected was because they said he's the guy who's more worldly. He's the guy who can deal with Trump. He's the guy who who is known around the world, and then he'll put Canada back on the map when Trudeau totally messed up. And I think so. This is good for Poilievre to say, no, well, I can do it too. I'm out there on the world stage. I can look statesmanly, and so I think it's a good move. I think if an election was held today, it may help. It may help him a little bit in showing that. I haven't seen any polls since the speeches to see if anything's closing yet. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. So unfortunately, not our Canadian broadcasting company, paid for by us taxpayers, is out in left field, left wing, and they haven't been kind to Poilievre either. I mean, it's if you're going to be if you're going to have a company of reporters, then you should be unbiased and treat each equally and report the facts and just the facts. And they're not doing that. They're manipulating, and they've been caught. And and now it's obvious to many, and I still can't figure out what, people know this of global CTV, City News, CBC, that that what they report is not the truth, and still people will vote liberal. Like, does that make sense? So take that off the table. Take all the reporting off the table. You just look at the last 11 years of our economy, and you look at how poor our economy is. Then you took Trudeau away and you brought in Mark Carney. Has the economy improved at all? No. So let's vote Liberal one more time. Does that make any sense? Isn't that the definition of insanity? Keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting better results? This is ridiculous. The polls are close, by the way. According to ChatGPT, Pierre Poilievre's travel and speeches abroad have not significantly improved his poll numbers, as his personal ratings have deteriorated to their lowest point, with notable weakness in key demographics and regions. The Conservative Party faces challenges in expanding its voter base despite maintaining a solid core of support. If an election were held tomorrow, the Liberal Party would likely win based on the latest polling data for March. The Liberal Party is showing strong support with approximately 49% of the vote, and the Conservatives are at 35%.
So you want to take back that statement you just said? They're not doing well at all. It's not close at all. It's terrible.
35 to 49%. Conservatives are at 35%.
Yeah.
That's pretty close.
That's terrible. That's not close.
Wow.
It used to be 42-39, right? It's gone now to 49-35.
Yeah.
That's horrendous. So anyway,
well,
I thought this...
I would definitely like the percentages to switch, for sure. I mean, anybody with any common sense should be voting Conservatives. But so what's going on in the country? Is the Liberal plan working? You flood us with immigrants, and now they're all allowed to vote. And so, even though they're not citizens, and so this is how they're keeping their liberal lead.
Yeah, hold on, man. We got to be careful about what we're saying, what facts. Then I gotta produce facts and to back those statements, like those statements that immigrants who are not citizens are voting, right? So
because they're go ahead.
Trump. See, here's what, and I think Poilievre is doing this now. He's invoking Trump in his speeches, because Canadians have been told that Trump is the boogeyman, and the Liberals are doing a good job, a better job than the Conservatives, of using that to boost their numbers. So you've got to. That's one thing about the Conservatives, is you don't be insane. Let's not be insane doing the same thing and expecting a different result. If the Canadians are responding to the fact that Trump is the boogeyman, then we got to respond to that as well, and invoke Trump in. If you want to get elected at this point, you got to invoke Trump as the boogeyman. So otherwise, if we don't do that, we're going to get the same result again and again. So stop being stubborn, Poilievre, and I think he's seeing that now. He's actually talking to the CBC. That was another thing he wasn't doing, was going out there and talking to these CBCs and CTVs and globals. He's doing that more, which is good, letting people see him. He's invoking Trump in his speeches, which is good. So I think he's seeing it. I hope it's not too late. But yeah, you got to make the change. Respond to the electorate. You got to respond to them, and just not be stubborn. That's my take.
Well, I hear what you're saying. so you're saying ride the coattails of the liberals, uh, the liberals' lies.
No, look at what the liberals did. He took Poilievre's talking points, Poilievre's policies,
Yeah,
and he's using them,
they're trying
and
to
he's
make them
doing
their
well.
own. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, the guy's smart. I mean, I got to give him that. You know, he's a smart cookie. Even though, yes, he's enriching himself and his cronies, he knows what he's doing. So,
Well, somebody
know,
knows what they're doing anyway.
Yeah. So we gotta play it properly. You know, yes, we got um well, what's the
So
word? But anyway,
there's
Canada
no way.
is yeah. Go
So
ahead.
what you're saying is there's no way for Poilievre to win, because
That's not what I'm
if
saying.
he well, okay, let me explain this. So if Poilievre points out the liberals' faults, then he's too negative. People don't like that. They don't want to vote for him. So you're saying Trump's not the boogeyman, but let's say he's the boogeyman because the liberals are saying he's a boogeyman and play off that.
No,
I,
that's not what I'm
I,
saying.
well, that's what I heard.
No, no, I'm saying Trump is the boogeyman. Don't be afraid of saying that. Don't be afraid to say that and say it. So there's some things. I mean, I think there's some things that Trump does that are fine. There's some things that I don't like about Trump when he talks about how Canada, 51st state and all that nonsense. I don't like that at all. But
Well, I think
Poilievre has been avoiding mentioning Trump at all. And I'm saying no, you've got to stand up for Canada and mention Trump by name, right? What's going to get him in is the results of Carney's policies, which are not good. We're going to shrink again. Our GDP is going to shrink again in the next quarter, like it shrunk before. So people are going to see that the results are not happening, and then they're going to vote. Then they'll switch their vote. I hope. Anyway, but that's what's gonna get him elected. But they also need to see that, okay, can this guy stand up to Trump? Can this guy stand up to, like, is he not too right wing? Is he kind of center right? Like, that kind of thing. So he's got to, what Canadians are voting for now is that kind of person. So yeah, you've got to be that if you want to get in. Right? That's why I can't stand for politics, because if I got to change who I am, then forget about it.
Yeah, I
But
wouldn't.
if you're going to be a politician, politicians have to stand for what the people want. You're there for the people. You're not there for yourself.
True, you're for the people, but we've had we. You're telling so. Yes, that's the way it should be. You should be acting on what the people want. That's not what's been happening over the last 11 years. So
Yeah,
why is it that our citizens of this country keep voting for liberal when the liberals are not giving what the citizens want? There's something amiss. Right?
Which citizens want? They're not giving what some of the citizens want, but they're giving what a lot of the citizens want. That's what they're getting voted in. A lot of people are happy that the government is looking after them. I'm not. I know I'm shouting from the rooftops.
There.
Don't let the government look after you. You don't want that. But that's what they're
There
doing.
you go. That you just said it. A lot of people are happy with the government looking after them.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Brutal.
And so who's getting looked after by the government? not the people that have been in the country for 10 years. Who's being looked after?
Who's been looked after by the government?
Yeah, who's being looked after by the government? Which citizens? Which, they're not even citizens. Which people in our country are being looked after by our government? Okay, so here I'll give you a hint.
There's many citizens, man. Come on.
I'll give you
Not just immigrants.
I'll give you a hint. The government wants to give our citizens free daycare. Free daycare. Wants to give our immigrants free daycare. Do our citizens get free daycare? No. Do our citizens get free rent? No, we don't get our rent paid for. So who's being looked after by the government?
Well, there's not a citizens. Our welfare system is bloated. We have a very bloated welfare system here in Canada. So yes, immigrants are getting more than they should, because even the healthcare, I think Rempel was trying to put a bill out saying that people who are either illegal or are going to be deported, have had the asylum denied, should not get healthcare. Should not get their glasses paid for or things like that. They can get like maybe emergency healthcare because they're in Canada and we're compassionate, but they should not get their glasses paid for or that kind of stuff, because that's just silly, it's stupid.
Yeah.
And
see, I would agree to.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
I would agree to compassionate care, right? Emergency care. Absolutely. I don't think anybody wouldn't agree to that. But if we're going to pay for their glasses and their braces and their dental, like we've lived in this country. I've lived in this country my whole entire life. I don't get all that. I don't get my dental paid for. I don't get my glasses paid for. I don't get my rent paid for. So, they get, how much do they get in freebies or paid for by us, the tax-paying citizens? How much are they getting? If you total up the bill, what is it? 70, 80 grand a year?
It's a lot. It's a lot.
I'd like to know. Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah. But anyway, we can do, I think we can do one more.
Yeah. Which one you want to do?
Well, I mean, the war, right? That's the topic of the day.
All right.
We got the war. Iran has just selected, I wanted to say elected, but selected.
No, selected.
New supreme leader. The new supreme leader, which is the son of the Khamenei that just got killed. His name is Moshtaba Khamenei. And I think 2 days ago or so, Trump said he wants to have a say on who the next leader is. And if it's some hardliner, the guy's life will be short. He pretty much said that the guy better go into hiding. I forgot exactly how he put it, but I don't know if Moshtaba is going to be around with us for much. How do you feel about Carney's statements on the war? First, he said he was for it, and then he said he's for it with regret. And then he said, he wasn't consulted. He would have said, if he was consulted, he would have said international law is being contravened, that you shouldn't do it. So it's been kind of waffling. Is he for it, against it? And then he said that Canada may, or he's not going to, he can't say for sure that Canada is not going to take part in the war. He's not ruling it out, but I guess that's if a NATO ally is attacked. In the region, Turkey is in NATO. So I guess if Turkey's attacked, which is kind of odd because Turkey is kind of an ally of Iran. Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he's all over the place. We don't know what Canada's role is, like what kind of stance is on this war. Anyway, what is it? What's going on?
So I think Trump, Trump's words, I think, were that this new selected person is not going to be
leader,
around
yeah.
long. Yeah, the leader
Yeah, there
won't
you
be
go.
around long, right?
That's
I
it.
think that's what he said. Melissa Lantsman, getting back to Carney, she summed it up pretty pretty quick. The prime minister's changing position on the U.S. Israeli attacks on Iran with a post on X, which she sums it up by saying, "We support it. We're upset about it. We think it's bad, but also we might join in." Those are Carney's words. So, we support it. We're upset about it. We think it's bad, but also we might join in. So he's flip-flopping all over the place. They weren't consulted about it because, from what I heard, is that because of Carney's close ties to China, we're being left out of knowing what's going on in the rest of the world. So the US can't trust us. Europe, as long as they're not cozying up to China, they are on the inside. But as it stands, Canada is on the outside. We cannot be trusted. So that's why we're being left out. So good job, Carney. Good job. Good job, Carney.
That's interesting. That's interesting. Yeah, Carney is a bad habit of jumping the gun and not thinking things through. Like when that peace, that board of peace that Trump was trying to put in place, Carney's like, yeah, we're going to go in, and then a few days later, it's like, well, it's $1 billion. I don't know. The financing is maybe not. I don't know how it's going to stand up. And then Trump just said, you know what? I'm uninviting you. So he disinvited Carney. To my mind, I'm glad. I don't want Canada to be in another group, like in the UN, in the WHO, in the WEF, in the now Board of Peace. Get out of these things. You can't be in all these $1 billion waste of monies. So I was glad about that anyway. But he keeps jumping the gun and then having to backtrack. So what he needs to do is when something happens, take a pause. You don't have to be first to speak out on it. Find out what's going on, what's the end game of this war, and then make a statement that's kind of broad. You don't have to necessarily take a side unless you know exactly what's going on. And then so just take a pause, man. Just relax, bro.
Yeah,
I know you're kind of arrogant. You think you think you're the cat's meow, but come on, man.
Yes. So another big topic is the land title in BC. Right? That's another big topic. So
yeah, I think maybe we should leave that one for
another time.
To do first in our next episode. We can talk about that. I think there's more going to come from that whole debacle.
Yeah, because people are apparently getting kicked off their land out that way. So it's not looking good.
Real.
That was a bad move on EB.
Yeah, EB. Well, the NDP, all the NDP, even the last guy, what was his name before EB? He passed away, I think. Well,
Not
guys,
sure.
we'll talk about that next time because I think that's a big topic. Land claims, Indigenous land claims here in Canada is it's not a good thing. It's taken a lot of people up by storm. But so today we talked a little bit about the war. We talked about Poilievre making a case for himself being PM and statesman-like, and
you know what,
our immigration system.
I'd like to hear from the people that are viewers. I'd like to hear some feedback on that. What is it that they would like to see from Poilievre? That would be interesting.
Yeah. Sure, guys. Well, you heard it, guys. Please in the comments. What do you want to see from Poilievre? If you're a liberal, What would change your vote to a conservative, to a Poilievre vote? If you used to be a conservative, why did you start voting liberal? That would be interesting to hear. But
Yeah.
yeah, just please write down in the comments. Please like and subscribe. Really appreciate that. And we'll see you guys all next time on the next episode of The Brazen Truth.
Abrasive Truth. We'll see you next time.
Oh, yeah. The Brazen Truth. Yeah.
We call
All
it whatever
right.
you want, man. Call it whatever you want.
Oh, that's funny.